AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the views of others. Those wishing to address items on the agenda and matters that are not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the AVUHSD board shall do so on AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not
Sound check, 1, 2, 3. Sound check, 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead and call the meeting. Good morning. The July 18th regular board meeting is being recorded. Anyone wishing to observe the meeting may do so via AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Hopefully it's working. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings, provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the view of others. Roll call. Miss Corona.
Present.
Mrs. McGrady.
Present.
I'm here. Miguel, Mr. Sanchez.
Here.
Miss Nguyen. All right. All right, public business from the floor, closed session. Are there any comments from the public on closed session items?
Yes, we have one.
Okay. Sir, I don't want to butcher your name, but welcome. Can you tell us your name?
Good morning, board members. My name is Cesar Miguel Rivera Vega Magallon. I am the associate and fellow for the Cancel the Contract, an organization here in the Antelope Valley, which has sent you now 4 Public Records Acts requests. We are here, one, to inform you about your exposure to potential litigation regarding the late response to the first one, having received a response on the 11th day. And we are also here to let you know that we are very proud of your legal team. They are trying to steward this ship while you are somnambulantly walking the district into multi-million-dollar liabilities for litigation as your sheriff's contract deputizes illegally the security guards on campuses, as you try to put sheriffs back in the schools while they're being accused in county court of raping children in juvenile halls. We are outraged. I have never seen such irresponsible stewardship of a public entity in my life. When I was here with Tanya Pellegrini and the attorneys of Maldev to make these by-trustee districts, which you are now sitting and running in, I had hoped that we would have diversity on campuses, we would have diversity in our boardrooms, and this board would finally look like the students in our schools. You have the teachers union and the teachers calling white supremacist gang-infested department, the sheriffs, to body slam 14-year-old Black kids with disabilities. And you're making the county of Los Angeles pay for it. We told Supervisor Wagner that in person yesterday. And she has a couple alternatives for you, so you don't put rapists in your campuses while they're asking in the public clusterfuck meeting to be able to handcuff students for public disturbances, that they will avoid arresting students in their psychiatrist office in violation of their health rights, their privacy rights, and any ethical behavior by any psychiatrist or psychologist. Who would allow that? You have. As you discussed in closed session, your exposure to potential litigation, please tell Ms. Joshua thank you, because we know she's doing the best she can. While you are somnambulant, negligent, and I have 5 attorneys napping at me to represent me in a class action lawsuit, while the city of Lancaster leads a class action lawsuit with no class. Mayor Paris has lost his mind, and you may be exposed to tortious interference claims if you accept a contract and they cannot staff the sheriff stations. There's no one past 3:30 p.m. at Lancaster Station. Do you want 42 contracting cities to come after you? Is it legally tested? I'm not an attorney. You might need outside counsel because you don't have the attorney time to respond to public records requests within 10 statutory days.
30 seconds.
Is that 30 seconds, or is the time also different in the district? Because apparently 10 days in the district is 11 days.
Sir, let me interrupt you real quick. What he said, you had 30 seconds to speak in your 3 minutes. So I will go ahead
Oh,
and
I'm just
give
wondering
you.
if 33 minutes in the district has 60 seconds, or if it has maybe a little
So,
more.
Right now, I'll go ahead and give you another 30 seconds and
Thank
you'll
you.
finish up your comment.
As we discussed putting DYD officers or resource officers in the schools to replace the sheriffs with Supervisor Varger, I cannot tell you her disgust at the fact that the district has been getting away with having the county taxpayers and the county board of supervisors pay through the nose, and then the cities have to pay more for their liability insurance, which Mayor Hoff, or former Mayor Hoffbauer, screamed about at the top of his lungs when he was in the head of the League of California Cities. This board is a ship without a captain.
That's your time, sir.
We'll let the captain speak. Sir, I got a clarifying question, please. I have a clarifying question for you. Your statement is that our sheriffs in our in our district right now are rapists. Is that your comment, sir?
Well, you shouldn't have sheriffs because you have a contract, and that's what they're accused of in county court.
So
in
is
juvenile
that what
halls.
you're saying? I'm just trying to understand
That's
what
what
you're
the
saying.
lawsuit alleges in county court.
Hold on, are you saying our sheriffs, the sheriffs that work in our districts, they're raping our children? Is that
I
what
don't
you're
know, do
saying?
you? That's what I'm concerned about.
It's your comment. I'm asking, is that's what you're saying?
The organization is accused of raping children in juvenile halls. Do you know they're staffing those people in your district? You don't?
Okay.
I don't.
We're not juvenile hall. This is the district, right? The high school district.
I don't
I
see
just
the
want to make
difference there.
sure, I just want to be clear. You're alleging that our sheriffs are raping our
I'm
children.
stating a fact, which is that the county is being sued for rape in juvenile halls, and there's the same department that you have in our schools to body slam 14-year-old children with disabilities.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
don't have any other anybody else got any questions for this gentleman? No, I'll just make a comment, especially as a law enforcement officer. I'm absolutely proud of our sheriffs that we have in our district. And so I just want to say they're fine men and women, and I absolutely support them. Thank you. All right, we will go ahead and the Board of Trustees will go into closed session and reconvene the meeting at 11 a.m. All right. Go ahead. We're going to call the meeting back to order.
Welcome to the Antelope Valley Union High School District Board of Trustees meeting. This board meeting is being recorded. Anyone wishing to observe the meeting may do so via AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the views of others. Those wishing to address items on the agenda and matters that are not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the AVUHSD board shall do so in person, complete a speaker form, and give it to the designee before the public comment portion of the meeting. The speaker form must be given to Ms. Orozco before the board president announces the item. Once the item has been called, we will no longer accept new cards. Ms. Orozco will call the individual's name to come up to the podium to provide their comments. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. A total time for public input on each item shall be limited to 20 minutes. Non-agendized items are limited to a total allotment of 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. The district encourages members of the public to attend board meetings and to address the board concerning any item on the agenda or within the board's jurisdiction. The board does not prohibit public criticism of its policies, procedures, programs, services, acts, or omissions. Similarly, the board does not prohibit public criticism of district employees. Speakers are cautioned that no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments simply because those comments are made at a public meeting. Attendees are also reminded of the board's civility policy, Policy 1313. This civility policy requires that members of the district staff will treat parents and other members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. The district is committed to maintaining disruption-free board meetings. The board will not permit any disturbance or willful interruption of its board meetings. Persistent disruption by an individual or group are grounds to terminate the privilege of addressing the board. Persistent disruption by an individual shall be grounds for the board president to terminate the individual's privilege to address the board. The district promotes mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among district board members, district employees, parents, and the public. The district seeks public cooperation with this endeavor.
We will move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Sanchez, will you please lead us? Thank you.
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. All right, number 4, PINCO meeting. Public comments from the floor for PINCO items. Are there any comments from the public on PINCO?
We have no comments for PINCO.
B, resolution number 2024-25-02, revision of certification of signatures. It is recommended the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-25-02, revised certification of signatures. May I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. C, award of RFP 05-24-25, purchase and process USDA beef products. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees authorize PINCO to enter into an agreement with International Food Solutions on behalf of its member districts as outlined above. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. D, award of RFP 06/24-25 non-food packaging supplies delivered to PINCO districts. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees authorize PINCO to enter into an agreement with Imperial Dade, P&R Paper Supply, and Individual Food Solutions on behalf of its members district as outlined above. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. E, purchase order schedule, PINCO. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve and authorize the purchase outlined on the attached schedule. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. We will go ahead and reconvene our regular meeting. 6, recognition, reports, public comments, quarterly Williams complaint report summary, April 2024 to June 2024. Ms. Williams.
Yes, per the Ed Code and specified in the Williams Settlement legislation, school districts are required to provide a quarterly Williams complaint summary report to the board and as well as the county superintendent. And it's in the areas of instructional materials, facilities, and teacher vacancy and misassignments. And we did not receive any complaints during this time period.
Thank you. B, Ms. Nguyen, board officer report.
Yes, yesterday was our Antelope Valley School Transportation Meeting, and it was attended by both your board representative and the alternate. And the meeting was called specifically to approve contracts for all negotiating groups, which we did. And basically, excuse me, that was the meeting. Thank you.
Right.
The other Antelope Valley School Boards Association, LAXTA, are all on dark for the summer.
Okay, thank you very much for your report. Mr. Nehan, district strategic planning update.
So since the last regular board meeting, the district team has met with Southwest Strategies 4 times. We meet again tomorrow. And currently the Southwest is personalizing the plan to our district with photos of our students, with local landscape and school buildings. And I'll be presenting again a near final version to our teachers at the August 7th teacher colloquium at Eastside High School.
Great, thank you.
I have a question. So are we at the point yet that we've gone out to the community and gotten responses from them?
We did that in the beginning. We did that through the LCAP process because they're so similar in nature. And then what we will do is do sounding meetings or listening meetings with public focus groups, essentially.
That's what I'm referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Oh, so those haven't happened.
They
yet.
have not happened yet.
Are they,
So.
what is the timeline there for that?
We'll discuss that tomorrow with Southwest.
Right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, D is AVSTA. Miss Wynn, you've already given your report on that. E, AVTA, Mike Millings. Any representative, don't see that. All right, moving to the fun stuff. Public comments from the floor for agendized items. Are there any comments from the public on agendized items?
Yes, we have 5 speakers.
All right, here's that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So you put 5 cards in? Yeah, okay. Well, let me read my thing. We'll get to that in a second. The public is invited to address the board on any agenda item. To address the item on the agenda, speaker forms must be given to the designee before the board president chair announces the item. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and a total time for public input on each item shall be limited to 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speakers may relinquish a time allotted to another speaker during public comments. The board listens to concerns. The board may ask questions for purpose of clarification. The law prohibits the board from entering into a dialogue with the public or taking action on items not on the agenda. So I have 2, 4, 2. So, sir, you'll be allotted 3 minutes to speak on your 5 items, and I'll go ahead and bring you to the podium for your 3 minutes. Welcome. You can touch on each of the items as you want, but you get 3 minutes to do it.
So to speak, good morning or
Good morning.
morning.
Afternoon.
Board, the reason I am here as your Council of the Contract Fellow and Associate, as an alumnus of Lancaster High School, as a community member who's a published author in the most prestigious magazine in the Spanish-speaking world, I can do the 5 items in 3 minutes. That's not a problem, but I'm wondering if you can. When we met with Supervisor Barger yesterday, we were there to talk about our meeting with Sheriff Luna in Lancaster Sheriff's Station. As I mentioned to the board during the closed session, agenda items, the county sheriff's department is being sued in county court for raping children in juvenile halls. At the same time, the sheriff's deputies are in the county building negotiating a rewritten contract that allows them to take students to be arrested by themselves, be arrested in the psychologist or psychiatrist's office, the use of restraints that are dangerous for pregnant, diabetic, and others disabled or ill students. These are the people you have entered into contracts with historically. I'm glad we're talking about the Lancaster gym flooring because I think all of Lancaster High School should have the same flooring. Because that way when the students' head ricochets, when their body slammed and chokeholded by a sheriff's deputy, and then they're sent to juvenile hall where the kids are being raped, maybe the district can limit its liability or save the county taxpayers a little money, especially since it seems like we are going to go to the county taxpayers for general obligation bond. I know where you can find $1.9 million for the district. Cancel the contract. Enter into agreement with DYD. I'm glad that the Palmdale Dundum Coalition is here because now we can talk about tax issues. And we have the president of the board, the captain on this leaky ship, steering it into disaster somnambulantly, saying that he supports law enforcement after he hears that they're being taken to court for raping children, and then says, are you saying they're raping children? No, I'm saying a lawsuit alleges it. Maybe you should ask the teachers unions to give you a remedial English lesson at RX Paris High School. And maybe we can talk about celebrating the English Civil War anniversary on August 22nd. It's disgusting, frankly disgusting. You are negligent in your duties as elected officials in the districts that Maldev, myself, and Javier Flores came here to draw. You are sitting in my seat that I drew for you. You're welcome. And you are using that privilege of serving the public to redirect funds to charter schools, to put rapist organizations with terrorist gang affiliations in our high schools. And then you have the sheriff's deputies at the cluster meeting saying, we want to protect the First Amendment rights of sheriff's deputies who have gang tattoos. I can show my forearms. Can your resource deputies? And they're laughed at by the county saying, excuse me, Deputy Dum Dum. Gangs are not politically protected speech when they're designated terrorist organizations. They're not the Republican or Democratic Party or religious organization. That is the quality of our resource deputies. That is a captain
Thank
speaking
you
to
very
the
much
county.
for your comments.
Thank you.
Just like to say, go ahead.
Mr. Dean, do we have any sheriff on any campus that's ever been accused of rape?
Not to my knowledge.
Miss Wendy, you want to make any comments?
No, good.
Yeah, I will. I absolutely support law enforcement 100%. They're some of the best men and women that we have to offer. We are actually always going to have protection for our staff, our teachers, our children, and our parents. So thank you very much for your comments, sir. But I don't believe that the public want the sheriffs out of the schools. And I don't think the majority of our staff and parents want that as well. And that's why I sit here, that'll never happen. So that's my comment to that. Mario. What did he call you guys? I missed that.
Don't get back, if he's gonna act like that, I should.
All right, well,
probably
welcome,
worry for my
sir.
safety. Anyways. Hi, apoyo el consejo con decisión a gastar dinero en la educación de la comunidad. Los gastos del año que vienen sienten bien y no tengo quejo, pero los gastos pudieron ser pagados con los 10 millones que regalaron a la ciudad de Lancaster. Las escuelas de Little Rock, Eastside y Highland tienen baños portables en el campo de fútbol americano. Las mujeres tienen que usar esos baños cochinos en el sol caloroso, pero construyen un centro de emergencia. Nuestra comunidad ve la declinación de estudiantes en inteligencia y la inteligencia artificial reemplaza a los más trabajadores más bajos. Espero que el Consejo quiere que los estudiantes suceden antes de gastar millones en un centro de emergencia. El futuro de nuestro país descansa en la habilidad de entender matemáticas, ciencias y leer. Inteligencia artificial fácilmente reemplaza a los trabajadores atrasados y los de bajo habilidad. Debemos a preparar a los estudiantes de ser habilidad alto para protegerlos, darles dinero para libros, maestros, mochilas, antes de darle dinero a cualquier ciudad. I support the board's willingness
Hold
to
on,
spend.
Mario, hold on. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. You're going to do it in English now, correct? Okay, I'll give you 3 more minutes.
I support the board's willingness to spend money on our community's education. The expenses seen in the next year are within reasonable expectations, and I have no complaints. However, these expenses could have been partially paid with the $10 million gift to the city of Lancaster. Eastside, Highland, and Little Rock all have porta-johns at their football fields. Women need to use these disgusting facilities in the hot summer sun, but let's build an emergency center. Our community has seen a decline in recent years for students needing extra attention, and I would hope that it's the board's goal to improve the education of these students before spending millions of dollars on an emergency evacuation center. The future of our country rests on the understanding of topics like math, science, and reading, because AI has the capacity to replace low-skilled workers. It should be the board's goal to produce high-skilled students who apply these students on their road to success. Until we have more students graduating with the necessary skills to become irreplaceable, we should be withholding funding for pet projects that don't enhance their education. As a taxpayer, I have no problem paying for books, tutors, supplies, and any measures that enhance their safety of the next generation.
Thank you, Mario. Anybody got it? Any statements?
Yeah, just for clarification.
Mario, real quick,
Mario.
can you come back up? She's got a question for you.
Just really quick, you had mentioned that it should be the goal that this board is supporting. I can't remember exactly what you said, but you said the board should be supporting students and getting educated, higher wage jobs.
We should be,
Yeah.
the goal of the board is to support our students needing, basically making our students irreplaceable, becoming high-skilled
Right.
workers.
So my
Because
clarification,
until we see almost no students failing, it is my sentiment that we shouldn't be spending money on projects outside the district.
okay, so for the clarifying point, the answer is an action verb. That is our goal. We are very much dedicated and devoted to the education and bringing good paying jobs to our young people, and we can be strategic as well about how. So
And
I
we
just
are
wanted
doing
to
it.
clarify that point. Thank
Okay.
you.
In my statement, and so basically your opinion is that we shouldn't be using $10 million of our district money. I just want to point
When
out
you
that-
have students failing, when you have students
absolutely
being left behind.
$10 million over 30 years.
Regardless.
I can't have a discussion with you.
You're not supposed to have a discussion with me.
I don't want to, but I want to say what I have to say. The issue is it's a $10 million over 30 years, and it's a use agreement, just like we have a use agreement in the swimming pool in Palmdale. We don't own that swimming pool. I could tell you, a lot of people say, oh, swimming is not an educational benefit. Well, my daughter went to West Point because she swam in that pool that this district provided. Now she came back and now she's serving the citizens of Lancaster after she served American citizens in the Army. So it's lots of different things are educational. Swimming's one, the proms are the graduations, the culinary, I can go on and on and on. That's just my opinion. But thank you very much. I respect your opinion. I like you. You're always entertaining and you bring a lot of good points. So thank you.
Not a problem. I'd like to make a point that we're not allowed to engage in discussion.
We're
You
not.
can make a point of clarification, but that's about it. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, we will go to Shami Rar. Welcome from Antelope Valley College.
Good morning, board members, superintendent, cabinet. and members of the public. I am Shami Brar, Vice President of Administrative Services at Antelope Valley College, and I am here on behalf of AVC President Dr. Zealot to read a statement she prepared. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of the AVUHSD bond measure. Antelope Valley College and AVUHSD have a shared passion project for the past 20 years, SOAR High School. SOAR has residents on AVC's campus, and we have a wonderful problem. The school is full. The school is located in temporary units, and it cannot expand despite opportunity to do so due to facility limitations. In addition to SOAR High School located on the Lancaster campus, SOAR South in Palmdale opened 2 years ago and has already achieved its capacity. So to facilitate this project, we are working together to allocate space at AVC's Palmdale Center to house upper grades of students as SOAR South expands. This nationally recognized award-winning partnership produces results. This last year, 76% of graduates walked the stage with both a high school diploma and an associate degree from AVC. This is a phenomenal achievement on the part of students, faculty, and administration, both at the district, SOAR, and at AVC. As the district moves forward with the bond measure, we ask that SOAR be on the docket in some capacity as we seek to share the privilege and responsibility for promoting the success of these students and ensuring our collaboration into the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And extend our well wishes to your president. Thank you very much for our kind words.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Do we have SOAR expansion on our list of things to fix?
It's incorporated in the list, yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's much needed. I mean, it is truly amazing what the college and the district working together can do. It's called collaboration, kind of like use agreements and stuff like that. We will go to Drew Mercy. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Mr. President and board members. Drew Mercy. I'm here on behalf of the Antelope Valley Economic Development and Growth Enterprise, AVUHSD, our regional economic development organization, and here to speak on item 10B regarding the placing a bond on the ballot. The Antelope Valley Edge board discussed this issue at our recent board meeting and voted unanimously to encourage you to place the bond on the ballot and offer our support. We know workforce development is a big part of our goals and project base, and we can't have a solid workforce employees for the new jobs we're working on bringing in without a solid educational foundation, which includes modern facilities, safety, and many of the projects listed in the proposal. So we offer our support and any assistance we can provide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mercer. Thank you. Vivian. Welcome.
No, no problem. Just tell me when to start, sir. Hello again to my 3 board members. Ramos, Mejia, and Orozco. I'm just gonna say something real quick. I saw something and I got some clarification today. Like I said, a lot of times when I start speaking, or see stuff that's on the agenda, I've assumed stuff or I want to get clarification. And today I got clarification about the topic I want to speak about is this charter school. I feel like when it was put in the paper or whatever it's saying about them trying to get approval for it, my thought was we watched some people come in here, some teachers probably of this district and other teachers that went with that other program, Synergy. And my thought about having another charter school is this. It is true, and I learned today by my president, that's here, that I was able to learn that, of course, we always know the parents should have a say-so on where their kids should go. But I thought that maybe, how is it that we can have another charter school being offered to whatever when Synergy didn't get a chance? When in fact, we know that people in this district, people that infiltrated certain things in that program over there caused it to fail. Not just what everybody's saying. Let's get the facts, because we know how people here and some of this here on these boards, and I will point out you two that you know that I know, and other people that are railroaders that you know, that will not always let things always go well, even in the city, for Synergy to have been able to succeed. So asking for another charter program, of course, all parents should have a right to let their kids go with a program that's going to help, because we already have learned and seen that our charter people that come in here trying to get kids to come of all races, they come in here and guess what? They have needs and stuff. But some people felt that it wasn't a need to even have a charter because they have charters with their husbands or different things that they don't allow other people to have them. It took that last person many, many years and his mother in this district who worked to get that thing started. But boy, sure enough, you sure had a bunch of infiltrators that came in there and did a whole lot. And some we know that has ties with all kind of stuff. So I just feel like this, if a charter school is going to be here in this district and it's allowed for the kids to be able to go, all races of kids, all disabilities of kids, because we got people here that protest to act like they really care for special ed kids or learning disability kids, and we know that that's a joke in this here district at times, not with all, but many that holds positions. So let's make sure that this program's coming, this charter for these schools, that it's coming for all kids, all needs, all races, all disabilities, and anybody that needs it, not just the few and the ones that are either having a so-called stake in the game of making sure that you're part of the system of knowing how to run the program and also get the fundings for the program and also know how to pocket the fundings as what I feel that to be, because we know that has happened in our district here real loud and clear, especially with the two so-called board members that sit on this board that represents what they're saying they represent and do not really care for these kids, and a lot more in this district doesn't at all. So let's make sure that the charter school maybe can be overlooked in the right way so it can succeed.
Time.
Thank you. All right, we will move to G, public comments from the floor for non-agendized items. Are there any comments from the public for non-agendized items?
Yes, we have 4 speakers.
Okay. He is entertaining. Mario, you're on top. You want to jump on? Welcome again.
Good afternoon. Ok, quiero darle las gracias al consejo por gastar dinero que no tienen y pedirte la comunidad que lo pague. Preguntando a los residentes cómo gastar el dinero es una buena idea. Es mejor hacerlo en el consejo después de gastar 10 millones de dólares de los estudiantes. Cuando haces favores a los amigos y donores antes de la comunidad nos preocupa. Sabemos que Charles tiene familia en el consejo de Lancaster y el consejo del Fair. Tan conectado, él debería de removerse del gasto para no parecer ilegal, pero no, él votó a dar el dinero a nuestros estudiantes a la ciudad de su hija para el Fair de su esposa. Es mala onda subir impuestos cuando no se ve que estás protegiendo nuestro dinero. Especialmente me gusta el asbesto, el mención de asbesto, porque en nuestro valle solamente hay 3 escuelas que estaban construidos antes de 1990, y paramos usando asbesto en 1989. Okay, so I want to thank you. I want to thank the board for spending the money that it doesn't have and asking the community to foot the bill. Asking the community how they think the resources should be spent is a great idea. Even better to do it after a board meeting where you squander $10 million of the students' money. Cronyism is when you perform political or social favors for friends and donors before your constituents. We know that Charles has family members on the Council of Lancaster and the AV Fair Board, so he should have recused himself from the vote to avoid the appearance of impropriety. But no, he boldly gave our students money to his daughter's city for his wife's construction on the fair. It's disingenuous.
Can I stop you real quick? I'm gonna let you finish. I'm giving this time. Do me a favor, because I really like you. You can say anything you want about me. You can say anything about my daughter, because we're public figures.
Right.
Remember, my wife's not a public figure. I don't want to get any litigation if you say anything slanderous and libel. So attack me and my daughter, totally good.
Not a problem.
Okay,
I know,
cool.
I know.
I
you
just
would-
want to
Yeah.
make sure we're cool.
That's
I don't want
fine.
to do that. Go
That's
ahead.
fine, but
Go ahead.
it's a well-known fact that your wife is on the fair board of,
She's president of the fair. board.
president of the
Yes,
fair
go
board,
ahead.
correct. So she is receiving money from Lancaster from this $10 million.
No, actually, let me correct you just so you understand this. Miss Wynn's on the 50th district. She gets the money. That's why. So hold on. Hold on. The 50 hold on. I just wanted to. I'm clarifying. Miss Wynn doesn't get the money. The 50 ag she sits on gets the money. All monies go through the 50 ag. But that just shows, Miss Wynn, that just shows that you don't understand your own board, because that's okay. No, hold on. So hold on. What I just want to do, Mario, so I don't have to get in litigation with you.
Right.
I don't want to go ahead. Take your time.
Thank
I'll
you.
address it.
So the Merck Center, built at the AV Fair, where your wife is president,
Yes.
got $10 million from Lancaster, given to you by AV High School District. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to point out. That is not speaking disparaging. That is a fact. Okay. But no, you boldly voted to give our students money away. It's disingenuous to ask residents to raise their taxes when it can be seen that you are not good stewards of their funds. I especially love the asbestos question on your questionnaire, because there's only 3 schools in this entire valley that were built before 1990. And asbestos in buildings was outlawed in 1989. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mario. So I'll make a comment about is $10 million over 30 years use agreement. So I just wanted to explain that. So I think people miss that. So, all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Years ago gave up our account. We do not handle money. The entire district handles money, and Mr. Sanchez is on the
Yeah,
fair
he
board
just
as
got
well.
He's on the
Don't
50th
point.
ag. I don't think he was on there. You weren't on there when the vote was made, right? No.
Yeah.
So
No.
Mr. Sanchez had nothing to do with it.
We're all on the board, then we have a say.
Now you are.
We have a say, but the
Yeah.
50th does not handle money. The JPA handles it.
Can you do me a favor, Miss Wynn? Can you go back? And then
You got
I think I'm right on this and you think you're right on this. Can you do me a favor? Can you go back and talk to your council on the 50th and figure, because all the money from the state will go through the 50th ag.
It is-
Oh, hold on. Can you do me a favor?
Oh, of course I can.
Can you go back and ask them and then come back and let us know?
Because it's, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Because then
And
we'll
then-
know who's,
When she comes back and you were wrong, you will apologize to her?
if come back and I'm wrong, but
Well, and you'll apologize publicly.
why not? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but I'm just saying that's where
Be
I've had
respecting your
conversations.
property. Okay.
Okay, and vice versa. So it's okay. Thank you, Miss Wynn, for doing that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you. We'll adjourn for 5 minutes. Miss Wynn, you got the floor.
So I just talked to the Dan Jacobs at the Antelope Valley Fair. The 50th DAA does not have a bank account.
Currently.
We gave up the bank account, oh gosh, years ago. And just became more of a advisory to the fair and the JPA. And according to Mr. Jacobs, that we will have to open a bank account to actually receive the money, which we will then give to the city of Lancaster, because we cannot hold the money at all. So
Okay.
it's as far as making it legal, the money will, like I said, we'll have to open a bank account. We'll receive the 10 million and then give it directly, immediately to the city of Lancaster.
So I'll take that as an apology. Thank you.
That's not an apology. That is facts. Oh my goodness.
Once again,
That's a fact. Go ahead and
I
call
just want to
Dan.
point out that you sit on that board and
Call Dan.
just like you sit on this board and you don't pretty much know what's going on either.
I-
It's okay.
And I
We'll move
also
on.
should add that I recused myself from voting
You should.
to
That-
receive the 10 million.
You did,
because-
absolutely, you did.
Because I sit on both boards.
You did, and that's appropriate. That's a conflict. Absolutely. And you didn't vote on it on this board as well, which is appropriate as well.
Well, I couldn't. I wasn't at the meeting.
All right, so we will go to,
Oh my.
who's that? Miss Lope? Welcome. Just took a little detour there. We'll get back on track. Ma'am, you can speak on anything you want. Go ahead.
Board number wrong. It's 1313 is your policy that you read before we started. When you all first started the meeting. Sorry, y'all. It said no interruptions. And that's what I was gonna speak of. And it was like, there's been so many interruptions and I also think there's a policy, I could be wrong. You're not supposed to engage with the public. So I just would like say, if I'm talking, don't say, I'll still get my time, just not interrupt me. And then when I'm done, y'all are supposed to talk amongst yourself and you can reach out to me because I'm making the comments. That's the normal process is if I make a comment, you reach out to me privately and not engage in a back and forth conversation. I do believe that's part of the policy. I could be totally wrong. And I also, I'm part of CSCA. I'm the vice president of the Palmdale School District. And every time I look at the agenda, I wonder why is CSCA not on the agenda? Because when I go to the Palmdale School District, we're always included on the agenda. We have a block of time automatically for us and for the teachers. Now, if we just don't show up, then obviously we've given up our time. And I just wonder why that's not available here. And also, the last time I spoke with y'all, it was about the whole $10 million. And I actually went to the ag department and went to the secretary. She was out of the country. So I went to the assistant ag secretary and I spoke to them about it. And the money that goes to the fairgrounds is tax dollars from the ag commission, Department of Ag. So it isn't a private entity if it's getting our money, if it's getting the taxpayers' money that we all put forth. And it should be held at a standard that I should be able to talk about Jill if I want to, because she's a public entity, and Miguel and Charles, and your wife too. And I should be able to speak about my concerns. And as long as I'm not attacking somebody aggressively about who they are and that, but I'm just talking about their position within a public position, I should be able to mention your wife's name, your daughter's name, Jill's name, Charles. I can't even remember Carla's name.
Sure.
I mean, I don't want anybody to feel left out. But I should be able to speak about you publicly and your name as long as I'm not being
30
a
seconds.
jerk about it. And I hate that whole thing, you know, I need 30 seconds. You got a clock right here. So that's kind of, it's just interrupting it. Just be polite, be good people, be kind. We're all supposed to be here for the kids and the best for the kids and our students and you know, because they add to the public and they're going to be voters soon. So I just would ask you to be kind, even amongst yourself. When somebody's talking on there, don't start interrupting them and saying, well, you did this last time and what did we do this to you? Just let them have their minutes. Just thank you.
Thank you for your time. Look at it first. Right, we will move into the good stuff. All right, we'll move into 7. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Vivian. It was under, Vivian, it was under my papers. I was writing some notes. All right, Miss Vivian, welcome.
Thank you very much. Everybody can see this is a Holy Bible and it's straight up. It ain't sitting upside down like our old president. Like the way these two here, y'all worried about how people are talking in here, but you ain't been here for 4 years. The ones that just walked out, your buddies, what's his name right here? Go ahead and start filming me because you know what? You sitting by a racist ass teacher that sat her ass up there talking about my President Obama, talking about being a plantation. Might as well say the N-word again, boy. But her nephew had to correct her and her damn her husband. But you sit up there when I've been in this board for 4 years. You don't walk in with your Confederate hat on many occasions. So let me just tell you something about this here. This here. You act like somebody has to come up here and respect this here when you got the racist 2 dang women that are there. They mad because he sat down a racist woman that thing right there from Antelope Valley, she condones because who they were up under was their last superintendent. See, they all got this little cahoo going on. Even this Chris person who was supposed to represent the school in Highland, would he allow these kids to be called, go out there and play like something? I won't say the you know what word, the N-word, you didn't help, but you're sitting on this board. You got Shannon Williams, who's supposed to be helping special ed kids. Her background's supposed to be also saying that she came to this district saying that she's all about the kids. And we got a teacher here with special ed. This one here, special ed person for 12 years, sitting up in here mad, trying to take Charles Hughes' position because she's in a district where she feels like she wants to help these kids. You're racist, many you know you are. The public knows it. Someone came against you and told you. This one here sitting here trying to represent what's going on. I'm going to tell it like it is. You weren't here when these kids have been mistreated. They never talked about the kid that was up under the superintendent's board. He was a Spanish kid. He had to get help at his home because you know what? After they did the kids the way they did, you let that coach DJ Himes, let them kids be called the N-word. Go out there and play like some N to all races that was on that board. Because I'm a parent that came, you done dismiss the kids that had learning disabilities and you protest to sit up here and act like you care for kids in this district. Give me a break on that mess. You wonder why I don't stand up for what's going up in here? This ain't representing nothing in here. I got a daddy that was in the damn Air Force, nephews and cousins that was in the Marine. I don't owe you a damn thing sitting up in here. So you sitting in here with your racist attitudes, acting like you saying something about money and trying to talk about somebody's mother. Well, let me tell you, you didn't worry about it when I got $20,000 coming after me from No Good Stockdale and Hunt that these two should have recused they no good behinds, but they want to recuse themselves now. But you treated Dr. Ruffin like a dirty dog, didn't you?
30 seconds.
A doggone test to see if she had drugs in her. The only black woman. You want to act like you got something to say to that? I came in to let you know something. Don't argue with me about the racism that's in this here district. You sit up and you act like you turn around and you got mad telling when he presented me with an award, you gonna come at me and tell me you want to take me to lunch on my babies in heaven. You did it. And then you gonna tell this district, I threaten you on what? Nobody has to threaten you.
Right,
You lie.
time's up. Ms. Vivian, thank you.
Very much. Have a great
All right, let's move into some work. Miss Vivian, Miss Vivian. Miss Wendy, you got something to say? You have it. I just handled that. Okay, thank you. You don't have any comments on that you were spoken about, so. Ms. McGrady, do you have anything to say? Okay, no comment. Okay, you got anything to say? Okay, you can do that. All right, thank you. All right, we will move into 7, educational service, a public hearing on admissions, preference, and actions on requests for approval of charter petition for Academy of Creative Technology, Antelope Valley, and adopt resolution number 2024-2504. Excuse me. Hey, we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. We're taking a break for this disruption. Okay. We are going to go to 7. Public hearing on admission, preference, and actions on requests for approval of charter petition for Academy of Creative Technology, Antelope Valley, and adopt resolution number 2024-2504. The Antelope Valley Union High School District Governing Board has before it an action item on the request for approval of a charter petition for the proposed Academy of Creative Technology, Antelope Valley, to be operated within the geographic boundaries of the Antelope Valley Union High School District. The board will also consider the admission preference set forth in the charter as part of today's hearing. Pursuant to Education Code Section 47605B, on July 3rd, 2024, the district published the district staff's recommendations, including the recommended findings regarding the Academy of Creative Technology petition. At tonight's meeting, the Academy of Creative Technology charter petition will have equivalent time and procedures to present evidence and testimony to respond to the district staff's recommendations and findings. The action will proceed as following. First, district staff will be giving up to 10 minutes to make presentation regarding their recommendations and recommended findings. Second, Academy of Creative Technology will be given up to 10 minutes to make a presentation regarding the Academy of Creative Technology charter petition, including responses to the district staff's recommendations and recommended findings. Third, the board will hear public comments. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. Speakers shall direct their comments to the board and are urged to avoid repeating points made by previous speakers. Fourth, board members may ask clarifying questions to staff and our Academy of Creative Technologies. Thereafter, I will entertain a motion on the Academies of Creative Technologies request that the district board approve the charter petition for the proposed Academy of Creative Technologies and Antelope Valley Charter School. Staff presentation, Suki. Or, sorry, I will go to, Mr. Grado, I'll let you introduce our outstanding counsel.
Thank you so much. Yeah, at this time, there's no staff presentation. However, as you say, our legal counsel, Ms. Suki Aliwale, is here.
Welcome again.
Board. Suki Oluwalia from Atkinson Andelson, lawyer Reardon Romo, on behalf of the district. The district staff in our office has spent a considerable amount of time reviewing the charter petition. And as noted in the staff analysis, we do find that the petition presents a sound educational program. There are a couple of areas that we will be working with the charter petitioners during the 24-25 school year because they're using that as a planning and implementation year. But our recommendation is that the board approve the petition. And of course, I'm here to respond to any questions that the board may have.
Just so I'm understanding, because this, if we approve, it's for a conditional approval, correct? And that, how does that work into the picture?
Okay, so this is why people dislike attorneys. It's not a conditional approval, it's an approval with conditions.
Oh, approval with conditions.
Right.
Okay, okay.
And the reason for that is we are doing an approval with conditions so that the charter can get its CDS code and get started on applying for the application for the grants and moving forward with being a legal entity that can conduct business as a charter school. If we did it the other way around, CDE would not provide them with a CDS code.
I see. All right, so I just want to be clear though that approval with conditions, but you have put a deadline, a timeline for them to fulfill some of those recommendations.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Those timelines are specified in the staff analysis and they're also specified in the resolution. So of course, some of those things relate to the acquisition of the facility, acquisition of insurance. You can't get a facility until you have a charter petition. So that's part of the reason why they're using 24-25 as a planning and implementation year.
So they're taking a year to basically put this together and okay,
Exactly.
So unlike the last one. Okay, thank you. Anything else? But you're gonna in a sec. Part of the process is public comment. Okay, thank you. And we will go to the petitioner's presentation. Does Academy of Creative Technology wish to make a presentation to the district staff recommendation and recorded findings?
It is my understanding that there is no one here from the petitioners, but they have been provided with a copy of the staff analysis, and we believe that they are amenable to working with us on getting those conditions satisfied.
Okay, is there anybody in the room that wants to speak? Or is there anybody in the room? No? Okay. We'll move to public comment. We will now take public comment on the item. Comments are limited to 3 minutes each. If you wish to speak, please hand the speaker's form. Speakers shall direct their comments to the board and urge to avoid repeating points made by previous speakers. Ms. Vivian, did you want to speak? Did we provide a card? Okay, Ms. Vivian, is it just the one? Okay, Ms. Vivian, welcome. Where did all our other people go? I just want to point that out.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
I guess, like I said, I thought I got clarification and I did, and I appreciate you giving me that too about what the charter school situation is with, I'm gonna say, anything extra the kids need, if they can't get it from regular school, they need to go ahead and approve it. However, it's funny that I'm hearing this about being a charter school, that they are under conditions. It's throwing me for a loop because twice now, when Dr. Ruffin was on this board and other people, they had the majority in here, how they would knock down that last teacher for synergy. They actually came from another name first and were knocked down by both Gwen wasn't on the board at the time, but she still was in the mix of everything. People knocked down that last synergy program so bad, but guess what? They even had a monitor of the people that told some young lady was up there saying they didn't meet this, they didn't meet that, they didn't meet this. And I'm just surprised that they canceled and rejected the first time the program they had under another name. And then they came back and they had all their ducks in a row and they got approved. I'm feeling kind of funny right now about a condition for 1 year, a condition of this and that, and I'm gonna say it the way I feel as a Black woman, the way it was. That was a Black teacher that's been in the district since she's 89 years old or whatever she was, and y'all know about it. She was a teacher up under the watch of Superintendent David Vieira and all the rest of them who came, and I guess that was her son, Dr. What's his name again? I can't remember. But the bottom line is it got approved. And I'm surprised, I think if I remember, even Grady did it. McGrady approved. But like I said, it got infiltrated. But they had to have every dot, every T crossed, every I, every dot, to even get accepted. And I mean, they had a program up in here before on the first that they didn't meet nothing, and had a group of many people, and a lot of kids came in here. Kids of all races came in here pleading, crying, and it was turned down. And then they came back with this here results of what it should be. And it's sad. So to me, I'm sorry to say, it may be that you're going to approve it anyway. Like I said, the majority is going to rule anyway. But the issue is, I find it kind of rude to say that they had to have everything. They didn't get no condition, no nothing. They got people coming up in here, them teachers that were coming in here that hadn't got paid for whatever was the infiltration, or however it didn't get supported. Whoever hopped on them boards that I heard about different things that didn't do right. It's really sad that they had to have everything. And I heard that young man and his mother, they went to the bat for disabled kids and kids of special needs. And those kids came in here and teachers. Some didn't get paid. I don't know if they ever got paid right now, but they were seeking legal counsel. And I know that some of you on this board care for them and you want to help them. But my issue is I just don't feel, I have to say what I say, I'm a public person, I pay taxes, that this is right to approve it all the way now, saying it's on the conditions, the way that they did that other program. Something needs to be seen. Thank you.
Right. Any comments, Ms. Wynn, Ms. Brady, anybody? Okay. I just have a statement that on the conditions, there are certain things that is my understanding, they have to, if it gets approved, then they have to find a building. That's a condition. They have to get the funding. That's a condition. It's not like it's something different. The other charter school had the same type of thing. You've got to get approved first, then you can move into getting a building, but you can't have a school if you don't have a building. So that's the conditions. I can't enter. I'm not. Okay, Ms. Vivian. When we say the condition, I just want to make sure it's clear. What Suki was talking about is the kid, or I'll let you say it, Suki. I just want everybody to be on the same page, that everybody has the same conditions. Mike? Can you just kind of go over the conditions just so
Thank you. So the conditions are, like you said, a facility. Conditions are to get the financing in place. Conditions are to make sure that they have a sufficient number of students to make it fiscally viable. The conditions are, for example, when, a charter school has the same obligations as a district to enroll all students that wish to attend, to provide a full continuum of services to special needs kids, to make sure that there's an MOU that's in place with the district and or another SELPA to ensure that all students are being appropriately served. With Synergy, they wanted to open very, very, very quickly. And so that was the reason why a lot of those were incorporated into the charter petition. We're going a little bit slower this time because we want to make sure that the school is successful. And also they've missed the window to get to the State Board of Education, excuse me, to get a CDS code to be able to operate for the 24-25 school year anyway. So that is why those conditions are in place.
Yes, and those conditions are the same for everybody.
They're the same for everybody.
Yes. No matter
And
what.
as the authorizing and oversight agency, it is the responsibility of the district board working through our office and working through district staff to ensure that they're going to be fiscally, operationally, and educationally sound.
Thank you very much for that clarification. All right, public, go to clarifying questions from the board. I guess we were probably doing that already. Anybody else got any more clarification?
I'm doing questions and comments. Are we to comments yet?
This is questions.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Questions, comments, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention the charter school that we approved earlier this year also had met all the criteria for success, but they were not successful. And what I'm understanding is they did not hire credentialed teachers. The closing of that school disrupted the learning of all those students that were involved and disrupted the lives of the individuals who were hired to work that school and then did not receive pay. I'm curious why we are approving an elementary charter. We are a high school district. So why wouldn't they go to an elementary district to try to get the charter rather than coming to us? The way I understand it, they have one freshman class that will be online, virtual, just so they meet the criteria that we could even consider it. But because it's largely elementary, why would we be doing this? What's the reason we should do it?
Suki isn't it's like Palmdale. They run high school. We're the high school district, but they have the ability to do that because it's the same way both sides, right?
So a charter school has the ability to petition a high school district, such as we are, if they offer all of the grade levels that are served by the high school district as well. Many charters will start off, being a TK through 12, but because they want to make sure that they're going to be fiscally sound, they'll start off with a lower number of grades and a lower population. And then as there's interest that's filled and as they're able to get larger and larger facilities, they build it out. Very rarely do we see a school that says, we're going to start TK through 12 and have all of those. Because, for example, who's going to go to a new charter school at 12th grade? You're not going to get that. So that's why they're doing that. And as we discussed briefly in the staff analysis, they're planning on building out. They're going to go from like 144 kids all the way up to 750 kids. But there's absolutely statutory authority for them to submit a petition to this district. And otherwise I would have told you that this is not an appropriate petition. It's not something you can lawfully approve, but you can approve this one.
Yes, I have actually several concerns. And my first concern is the lack of presentation or enthusiasm by the person who is petitioning us for this charter. I would expect that there would have been I did miss the beginning of the meeting where she did her presentation, but I understand it was only a minute and the presentation was look at the charter for yourself kind of presentation. I have a concern about that because if you're not proud of the presentation, you're not excited about the organization you're petitioning the district for, how can I expect any more when the petition is approved? I also have a concern about elementary because we're not an elementary school district and having volunteered in elementary school for 30 some years and being on the board for the high school district, they're very different. And I don't see how in the world our oversight is going to help them with an elementary district and students. And I want to make sure, now we were promised with the Synergy charter that the teachers were going to be credentialed. And as far as I've heard, very few were credentialed teachers. One teacher hadn't even finished community college, but was teaching these students. My concern is for those kids. It was extremely disruptive to their lives when they went to school on Friday and then could not go to school on Monday because it had closed. So I want to make sure that I make a decision based on what's good for kids. So that's my biggest concern. Thank you.
Well, the only thing I gotta say is kind of like SOAR. SOAR has like an elementary, middle, and high school. They're doing very successful. So I think I would like to see this charter school to go through just to see how it interacts also with our high schools too. You know what I'm saying? If we could mold them up to roll over to the high school, because I think in the future, I'm hoping to collaborate with Palmdale School District and Lancaster too, where we're kind of working in the middle, where they're all the 7th and 8th graders are going to roll over to our high schools with the same expectations. You know what I'm saying? So I think this will be a good eye opener, on my opinion.
So much progress. Yeah. Short reference, 7th and 8th grade.
7th and 8th grade.
We're
So
not high school, but we still. I know this is different. It's a charter school.
it's a
But
little
we do-
different, but we
Yeah, but we have
Yes.
short prep as well. It's not element. 7th.
7th and 8th.
Let me start again. Grade, 7th and 8th graders, correct? We oversee 7th and 8th graders, which are not high school. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's the only
I think we
thing.
misspoke.
And they're actually doing really successful when they roll over to high school.
Mhm.
So I think this will be a good starting point for us too. So.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so I read the petition, I read all of the recommendations, and when I was reading it, it certainly the legality of it. We have a duty here to uphold the law of charter schools and the opportunities for our community and the students that may want it. And I didn't see anything in there that said there was nothing upheld with the law. So did I read it correctly? Legally, everything is sound.
So your obligation as a entity to which a charter petition is submitted is to review the charter petition with your staff and legal counsel. And if there are, in order to deny a charter petition, you must make written factual findings as to one of those 8 grounds. Conversely, we've made the findings that support all of those grounds. That it's a sound educational program, it's a sound fiscal program, it's not going to compete with any of the offerings that the district has. It has all the affirmations. So,
Right.
so there are no grounds for denial, is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Thank you. And then my next thought, and I spoke with Mr. Nehan earlier, yesterday when we met, is charter schools, we hope they succeed. However, they don't always succeed. And Mr. Nehan told me the statistic of 10%. Please correct me if I'm wrong, that rough estimate, guesstimate, if you will. But the 10% that are actually going to be successful. So, and we knew we were taking a risk, but it was the right thing to do. And it was the legal thing to do. But on the other hand, this component of the arts and creative technology is really what excites me. Just because we should provide more opportunity. There's not ever going to be enough opportunity, in my opinion. So I just want us to also acknowledge up here that we want them to succeed, of course. But when they don't succeed, it's not at a fault of ours. It just wasn't successful for various reasons. And I do like that this one is giving a time frame to prepare, implement, get the infrastructure together. They're the last time, but they came in, and I know Ms. Nguyen is talking about the presentation. They sold us that they could get it done. And I think they were getting it done, but there was a lot of other stuff happening. So yes, the woman that came in was much more soft-spoken. but perhaps she's afraid of public speaking. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not going to judge somebody on that alone. I have to look at the petition. That is the material that I want to look at. So that's just what I want to say as my discussion.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Still some of my thunder there, but she's a brilliant woman. In reviewing petitions for the establishment of charter schools, the chartering authority shall be guided by the intent of the legislature that charter schools are and should become an integral part of the California educational system, and that the establishment of charter schools should be encouraged. That's true, correct?
That's good.
Okay.
The legislative intent behind the Charter Schools Act.
There you go. Awesome. The governing board of the school district shall grant a charter for the operation of a school if it is satisfied that granting the charter is consistent with the sound educational practice and with the interest of the community in which the school is proposing to locate, correct? Okay. The governing board of the school district shall consider the academic needs of the pupils the school proposes to serve, correct? Yeah. The governing board of the school district shall not deny a petition for the establishment of a charter school unless it makes written factual findings specific to the particular petition, setting forth specific facts to support one or more of the following findings. There's a long list, and you did that.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
true.
So there's 8. And as I was mentioning earlier, we didn't make any written factual findings to deny the charter. In fact, we found that each of those, except for, there's no district fiscal impact. So we found that the charter had described and had articulated a sound educational program, had all the affirmations, reasonably comprehensive description of the 15 elements that are required, indicated who the exclusive employer is going to be, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, in fact, the district did not make any negative findings regarding this charter school petition, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And just to be clear, I know these questions that I'm asking you are correct, because they're all outlined in your 2022 charter school resource guide, correct?
Yeah.
You wrote the book on charter schools. That's
Been
who
doing
we
this,
have.
been doing this a long time.
Okay, that's who we have as our counsel. And that's what I would say. We have the most outstanding law firm dealing with charter schools. And Suki is the top of that list. So thank you very much. We are getting the bang for our buck. Okay, I'm not done. And the petition meets all legal requirements to be presented to this board.
Yes.
And after reviewing the petition, you believe it's a complete school charter petition.
We do. As I indicated, there are conditions. We're going to make sure that they adhere to the timelines that the board is setting forth in its resolution. And if they don't adhere to those, then the board is delegating authority to the superintendent to extend the time if appropriate. So, but we'll keep you updated as we move through this.
So there's no valid, as you said this, there's no valid legal reason that would allow me as a board member to vote no on this petition.
Not at today's meeting, because the staff has not made any factual findings to support a denial.
Okay. And Greg, the district operates another charter school, correct?
The district authorizes one charter and the district authorizes another dependent charter, which the operations are within the district.
And this board has approved those and reapproved those, correct?
Correct.
And you may not like this, or somebody may not like this. A lot of people may not like this, but and I just got to speak about this coming into this district and now sitting on this board for a while, especially as the president. And I know Miss Wynn and Mrs. McGrady are probably going to vote no on this petition. The problem is that neither of them will have a valid legal reason to vote no. And let me say that one more time. They will not have a valid reason to vote no. And let me tell you why I believe they'll probably vote no. This school is geared towards parents of color wanting a choice for their kids. And I see this as a competition. If a charter school's out there doing better than us, then guess what? We got to do better. I want to run a school board and make our school, our high school district, the best, where parents wouldn't want to take their kids out of our district and go to a competing, if you want to say it's competing. we should do the best job. And Mario said it, we should be doing the best job. And what's sad about sitting on this board and listening to the problem and sitting here interacting with my colleagues, the issue of race is so prevalent in this. And, you know, we've had school, the charter schools come in, African-American charter schools, they vote no. I think the difference now with this is that we got such a competent council that's able to look at the chart, make sure everything's perfect. And hopefully I'm wrong about Miss McGrady and Miss Wynn, but Vivian comes in here and she speaks on this subject all the time. I just hope that we do the right thing and we vote appropriately. And that's all I got to say. Anybody got anything else to say? The floor is open. Go ahead, Ms.
I believe
McGrady.
it's a violation for him to try to make us vote one way or another.
Oh, I ain't
It's
trying to make you
different
vote
from
anyway.
encouragement. Am I correct on that?
In terms of influencing
Absolutely.
your vote, is that,
Yes.
you believe he has influence?
I believe he's attempting to try to influence how.
I don't think you agree with me anytime, Ms. McGrady.
If you believe that, then there are obviously avenues that you are allowed to take if you believe a violation has occurred.
Thank you.
Ms. Wynn, anybody else? Okay.
Are we calling for the vote?
Well, I'm going to move on to the agenda. I was just asking if you guys have any more comments. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and move into call for a motion. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve with conditions the Academy of Creative Technology Antelope Valley Charter and adopt resolution number 2024-25-04, approving with conditions the Academy of Creative Technology Antelope Valley. I'll be proud to make that motion. Can I get a second? Any discussion? I'll go to you, Ms. McGrady. Discussion.
We've already discussed.
What, we're in a motion. I have to give you the opportunity to discuss it. There's no comment. Ms. Lynn.
Yes,
Go ahead.
just a quick comment. I represent families in this district. I have devoted my entire, actually 40 years to making sure that children have a chance and that I help improve it. And I vote based on what my feelings are for kids and their families. That's my part of the discussion.
Mr. Sanchez. Just one.
No, I already spoke.
We have a motion. We have a second. I'll go ahead and do a roll call. Ms. McGrady, how do you vote?
No.
Okay. Ms. Wynn, how do you vote?
Oh.
That's a no.
Excuse
I
me.
didn't.
No.
So it's a no vote.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Mr. Sanchez.
Yes.
Ms. Crowe.
Yes.
And it's a yes for me. Motion passes. They didn't prove me wrong. All right, we will move into B, review of curriculum guide introduction to dance. First reading discussion. It is recommended the Board of Trustees receive the attached curriculum guide for review. First read and discussion. Do we have any discussions or comments?
Yeah, discussion for me, please.
Okay, hold on one second.
Oh, sorry.
Suki, I'm not sure. Are you leaving? I just want to say thank you very much. Sorry, Ms. Corona, if I can interrupt. Thank you very much. We really appreciate the work you do. Truly amazing. Our law firms are awesome. Thank you.
Drive safe.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Crooms.
Well, I just wanted to say, reading this curriculum guide, Introduction to Dance, is very exciting just to see that we are starting to expand our arts offerings. And just one of my questions to Mr. Nehan was, how are we going to be able to expand this further to other schools and just to make sure that we have the teachers and the facilities. So it's just something to be thinking about. And I know that once it's approved, it becomes a district-wide curriculum, but that doesn't mean it's always implemented. So I want us to really think about implementing and finding ways to a yes for implementing this at Little Rock High School, at Knight High School, at Palmdale High School, all these different places, because I think it's a great opportunity. And then Mr. Nehan, you will there was just a couple questions on the curriculum you're going to address. Okay, that was all. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we will go to C, review curriculum guide, public safety fundamentals. First reading discussion is recommended the Board of Trustees receive the attached curriculum guide for review. Go ahead. Any discussion, Ms. McGrady? Ms. Nguyen? Mr. Sanchez?
Nothing.
Ms. Nguyen?
Yes. Just again, discussing the curriculum. This curriculum, what an amazing opportunity for our students. That's all I have to say. This is really important public safety knowledge that our students are having the opportunity to learn. Again, I hope we can expand it. I know if it's, I think this was for Highland. No, what was this one for? Highland, because of the, you're right. So I know there's the equipment and all of the resources there, but again, really looking at CTE and how we're going to expand that further, it's just really a great opportunity for our kids. That's what I want to say.
All right, I have nothing. We'll move to D, review of curriculum guide, Urban Scholars for Young Women. First read and discussion. It is recommended the Board of Trustees receive the attached curriculum guide for review. First read and discussion. So you, Ms. McGrady. Ms. Nguyen. Mr. Sanchez. Ms. Carl.
Yes. So the Urban Scholars for Young Women, where's it going to hopefully be implemented first?
Eastside High School and Palmdale High
At
School.
Eastside and Palmdale,
Yes,
okay.
so this is the expansion of our current Urban Scholars Program for our young men.
Right.
And we will start with our young women. with
Okay,
the upcoming
excellent.
School year.
That's wonderful. So it's Eastside and Palmdale. And so just the other thing with the curriculum, I just want us to make sure that we are, and I understand Urban Scholars is geared more towards a person of color, but I want us to also know that all young women should be outreached to or recruited to have this amazing opportunity to become the best women they can. So that's all. Thank you.
Gonna say better myself.
Thank you.
All right. E, review of curriculum guide welding and fabrication 2. First reading discussion is recommended the Board of Trustees receive the attached curriculum guide for review. First reading discussion. Ms. McGrady. Mrs. McGrady. Mrs. Nguyen.
I want to make a comment on all of the curriculum reviews. So excited that these are going to be offered to our students, and I want to thank staff because it's been a lot of work to put this together, and I always appreciate you and always well. Thank you.
Right.
Yes. I gotta finish this out, everybody. It's again,
Sparing people.
this curriculum is so complex, and it amazes me that it is being taught to high school students. It's just really fascinating that our students are getting this opportunity to kind of look up some of the words on some of these techniques and whatnot. So again, just it's great. And all of those that write the curriculum, I just thank you in advance for your patience with me when I find the things that I give to Mr. Nehan. It is because I really do go through it with a fine tooth comb as a fellow educator. So thank you.
More important, it's the red pen. But I'm really excited about just the opportunities to, the welding and bringing back that type of stuff for our kids. And if you want to come weld, you can come out to the farm and get you. Or Mr. Nehan could probably give you a field trip and so you learn to weld. All right. We will move to 8, student services action item. The 2024-2025 non-public school agency master contracts, STS 25-003, 033, 034, 035, 038, 039, 011, 022. It is recommended the Board of Trustees approve the agreements for non-public, non-secondary school agency service master contract STS 25-003, 034, 035, 038, 039, 011, 022, in addition to associated individual services agreement for non-public school placement as needed during the 2024-2025 year. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those favors say
Also,
aye.
I have one comment. I
Go
just
on to
want
Ms.
to,
Nguyen.
I just want to thank Chandelin. Thank you so much. A lot of the names I recognize, then we've used them in the past, which tells me that they've done a good job. So thank you so much to you and your staff for that together.
Any other? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. 9, personal service action item. Uh, 2024-2025 designation of CIF representatives to league. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the 2024-2025 designation of CIF representatives to the league. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. B, approval of provisional internship permit, PIP, social science. It is recommended the Board of Trustees approve and direct the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources to submit a provisional internship permit, allowing this individual to teach in the subject area indicated. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. 10, business services action item, resolution number 2024-2503, revision of certification of signatures. It is recommended the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-2503, revised certification of signatures. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor or discussion, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Seeing none, so moved. Adopt resolution number 2024-25. Go ahead. People in that motion. We're good? Right, say nay, seeing none, so moved. Okay, I will go. B, adopt resolution 2024-2506. Resolution of the governing board of the Antelope Valley Union High School District of Los Angeles County and Kern County, State of California, ordering an election to authorize the issuance of general obligation bond established in specifications of the election order and requesting consolidation with other elections occurring on November 5th, 2024. Staff recommends approval of resolution number 2024-2506, resolution of the governing board of the Antelope Valley Union High School District of Los Angeles County and Kern County, State of California, ordering an election to authorize the issuance of a general obligation bond, establishing specifications of the election order and requesting consolidation with other elections occurring on November 5th, 2024. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. President, before you begin discussion, I just want to welcome from Norton Rose Fulbright and La Morena Roland, from Team Civics, Jared Boygan, and from California Schools Financial Services, Jesse Landry. They are part of our bond team and they're here to answer any questions the board may have.
Welcome. I'll go to the discussion. I'll start with you, Miss McGrady.
Thank
Mrs.
you.
McGrady.
Just like to state that our district desperately needs to pass this bond for the upkeep of our schools. Our older schools are in terrible shape. We need to replace plumbing, electricals, at most of them probably. We have many upkeep projects that needed for our district that will only be accomplished with the bond. However, I, along with many of our community members, am concerned about the current board majority spending those necessary funds on other projects. As a community has been speaking to me about the partnership with the city and the fairgrounds, the partnership is not viewed as a prudent way to spend our assets. Our job is to educate our children. We must hire credentialed teachers to teach, classified workers to do their jobs, and administrators capable of running the schools. We have to keep the lights on with heat and air accessible. We must ensure safe schools for our students and our staff. I've been asked again and again, where are we getting the $10 million that we're giving the Fairgrounds Lancaster City project? And if we have $10 million to give away, why would our good citizens give us money to spend? Why aren't we asking Lancaster City Council to give us $10 million to help offset some of these astronomical costs that we're facing? We all know how important education is to our children and their families. Wouldn't it make more sense for the city to give us funds rather than us giving them funds that should be going to our children? So the dilemma is our district desperately needs a bond, but how do we make sure that it is spent for our students? That is the dilemma. So I guess my question for one of you or all of you is how can we ensure that our money will go just to fix up the sites that we have, expand SOAR. I understand that we're talking about building a new site, and I'm not sure that that's a really good thing to do. I would think we would even have to vote on that as a board, but how do we how do we structure it so that we make sure if the bond passes, that the money goes for what it should go for? And that's my-
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ann Lamarena Rolene. I serve as bond counsel to the district. There are a number of accountability features required by Proposition 39, including the appointment of a Citizens Oversight Committee, a performance and financial audit requirements, and also the district is only allowed to spend bond proceeds on projects that appear in the project list, which is included as Exhibit A to the authorizing resolution.
Thank you.
No, I just would like to say that a bond will be integral for our advancement into the 21st century, even furthermore, for our school sites. And I think it's time. Remind me again when the last bond was for AVUHSD.
Last bond to pass was 2002.
22 years ago. That's a whole entire generation practically. So I think that it's important for my constituents coming from Central Palmdale area that we make Palmdale High School for better. And this bond will do that, I believe.
I'm absolutely for the bond. I think since 2002, like Ms. Corona said, 22 years, we haven't had any influx of money into the school district. It's desperately needed. When I ran for office, I had some grand ideas of building this huge CTE center and getting our kids mortgage paying jobs. But then when I got into the district, I actually went and toured some of the sites, and it was appalling. The dilapidation of our schools, the FFA, the just overall in the sad shape of our infrastructure. I am going to go clap back a little bit on Ms. McGrady. For 22 years, they've been sitting on this board for a long time, and for her to bring up, the $10 million and all that. The problem is they were derelict in their duties because they weren't here to vote on that. They want to come and they want to talk about it, and they want to say, oh, this is misuse and 10 million over 30 years, da, da, da. But they failed their constituents by not being here to vote on that.
Well, you could
excuse
mention
me,
you
ma'am.
held
Excuse me,
it
ma'am.
at a
I have the
time
floor.
that you knew that I couldn't be there, and you knew that
I have
she
the
couldn't
floor,
be
ma'am.
here.
Yeah, I'll
So
let you speak after
just
me.
let's tell the public,
I
was not here because you had a special meeting
Ma'am,
on a
ma'am,
night
you're
that
out
you knew
of
I couldn't be
order.
here.
I absolutely will give you your opportunity to speak, but you're out of order. It's my time now. I reclaim my time. Thank you very much. Now back to your dereliction of duty for your constituents. You've failed them for not just that meeting, you've failed them for 20 years. You have not brought a bond in. You haven't went out there and got one passed. We have an absolute great opportunity to get one passed here, even despite your negativity and you sitting on this board, and it sounds like you're very negative towards this bond. And that's very sad for our children that's desperately needing this money. Your CSEA members, the AVTA members, the staff, the administrators, they have to work in these terrible conditions. And it's just very sad that you would use this time on the podium to try to harm the passage of this bond. Now, outside of that, I think that I think we're going to have great community support. The people I'm talking to, I think we're going to get overwhelming. Our elected officials are excited about it. My constituents are excited about it. So I'm pretty excited about getting this accomplished. It's well needed. So you got anything else, Ms. McGrady, you want to talk about? Go ahead.
Sure. The last time we wanted to go for a bond, your best friend and business partner was president. And when we did the survey, it didn't look like it would pass. So we did not attempt to put it on the ballot because it was suggested to us by our team at that time that it would not pass. So we didn't do that. And I would like to state clearly, when you said that I was derelict in my duty by not attending that meeting, you knew when you set that date that neither of us could be there. So please don't say we were derelict by not coming to a meeting. You said it when you knew we would not be able to be there. Thank you.
That's absolutely false, but I understand your position and you were derelict in your duty and we'll let the people decide that, but I believe you were. So here nor there.
Can I ask a question? So when the last bond did the survey, what year was that?
So when my buddy was president.
Right, so when was that? Within the past 5 years or less?
When president, you know.
I don't know, you tell me.
I believe that the last time we polled was 2018 or 2020.
Okay, so, but my point there is it was 2002 to 2018. That's still a lot of years.
I'll
district-
set my
district-
apology. I'll set my
Have
apology.
not been on the board 20 years.
I know that.
okay.
You've been on the board a long time.
But I'm just saying that.
Just a point of clarification, the district did run a bond campaign in 2008 that was not successful.
Right. That does not surprise me as to what was going on in 2008.
And-
Okay,
and
thank you for
For
that.
clarification, how long have you been on the board, Ms. McGrady?
I will have 13 years in November. Thank you.
And you failed to secure a bond. So we're going to try to do ours and I hope we're successful as long as we all can get on the same page and support this for the kids, and your political part of this is also a dereliction of your duty. But let's move on. Any other discussion? I don't see any. We'll go move for a vote. Roll call. We have a motion. We have a second. Roll call vote. Ms. McGrady, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
All right, outstanding. Ms. Nguyen, how do you vote?
I vote yes, but.
It's a yes or no. Yes or no. Mr. Sanchez, how do you vote?
So yes.
This is not a vote with a narrative. It's a yes. Ms.
Yes.
Cronin, okay, and it's a yes for me. Motion passes. Let's get this done. We will move to C. Service agreement with Couts Heating and Cooling Inc. to provide maintenance of the central plant at Eastside High School. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the two-year service agreement with Couts Heating and Cooling Inc. for the maintenance of Eastside High School central plant. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Seeing none, so moved. D, Security Tech Burglar Alarm Monitoring Services. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the attached proposal from Security Tech and authorize the Assistant Superintendent or designee as authorized agent to execute the contract on behalf of the district. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Seeing none, so moved. E, Security Tech Fire Alarm and Elevation Phone Monitoring Services. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the attached proposal from Security Tech and authorize the Assistant Superintendent or designee as authorized agent to execute the contract on behalf of the district. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those discussion, seeing none, all those favors say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Seeing none, so move. Okay, consent agenda category, educational services. Yeah, maybe I did.
11.
Item 11A.
Oh, sorry, I did a whole page, sorry. 11A. Thank you. Administrative services, action items. Approve the independent contract services agreement with the Finley Group. That's very important. Couldn't miss that one. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the independent contractor service agreement with the Finley Group. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Seeing none, so moved. Approved consent agenda. Approved items listed in the following consent agenda categories: education service, student services, personal services, business services, and administrative services. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are items consistent with the adopted policy and approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. The board will be asked to approve all the items in the consent agenda by a single vote unless any member of the board asks that an item be removed from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the items listed in the following consent agenda subcategories: education services, student services, personnel services, business services, and administrative services as presented. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
and whoever wants some approved, or you want to pull something, Ms. Wynn? Ms. Wynn, you get anything?
Yes.
Ms.
Uh,
Wynn, what do you?
13A, 13B is in boy, 13H, 13I, 15D is in David, 16T like Tom.
Okay, is that all just for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, we will start with 13A. Ms. Caroni, you have the floor.
So this is the Educational Services approve a Prop 28 Arts and Music in School funding annual report for fiscal year 23-24. So I did see that I think I just need some clarification because I have heard that we did actually get a disbursement of Prop 28 funds last fiscal year. Was that incorrect? And if it is incorrect, why isn't I didn't see funds on that report?
We did receive a disbursement. I don't know the amount. However, we didn't spend any of that. So this report is the expenditure report.
Oh, it was only expenditure. Oh,
Correct.
so can you let us know, doesn't have to be this minute, but what was the disbursement amount for?
Sure,
Prop
we'll have
28?
staff look at that and get back to you.
Okay, thank you. All right, 13B, this was the Aerospace Valley Career Fair, a salute to youth ABC Perkins grant. So it's great that we get this Perkins grant. I just want to mention to our, to my colleagues here and in general, I want to continue to see a growth of the careers that are coming out to this fair, representing this fair. I've asked for, I wasn't able to attend this past year because I was in class, but the year prior I was there and it was amazing, but there was some gaps. And so I'm hoping that as I sit here, we'll continue to fill those gaps with the industries, as Mr. Nehan told me. So just something to think about as we move forward with this. H. Okay, so this is the College and Career Access Pathways Partnership Agreement for the dual enrollment. So again, with dual enrollment, I am 100%, 150% in support of dual enrollment. Again, I want us to really be mindful of what we are offering as dual enrollment courses and how does it fulfill equity? Because, you know, initially it was trigonometry, you know, human development. Sure, I've talked to some of the kids that have taken the human development, and I do see we now have, I think 8 classes. I counted them, but it's on my other notebook. So thinking about dual enrollment, I want us to also consider we have a hope that we want to have homegrown talent. And one of that homegrown talent aspects is education. So I would love us to consider how we can bring ABCs and the high school district together with the children and family education and the education area so that we can potentially start thinking about this pipeline. So something that I will also be keeping my eye on as we get these agreements. The next up is 13I. And I wanted, because I wasn't aware of this, so the Mark White Learning is about math instruction. And my questions were, his claim is he's coming to do transformational math instruction. So my question was, well, what does that mean? What is transformational math instruction? But what I also learned was that math education is different than math. So the literacy project, Mr. Nehan, please like step in when you want. If you could, I just would like our board member, because we're spending $99,000 on this one individual who's coming from Knight High School, but I want to see the stats. Like, how is his work transformational when our math scores are not so great? So can you explain to my fellow board members the difference of educational instruction and then the way with the literacy?
So
Briefly, thank you.
Mr. White's specialty is going into classrooms with admin and with staff and identifying areas of instruction that can be improved or different ways to instruct in the traditional way that we teach high school math. Math literacy is a non-traditional way to take algebra out of the abstract and put it into concrete and tangible examples for our students. So they're separate and apart, and they function very differently. But our experience with Mr. White, and we can provide the data on his prior work at Knight High School, but the feedback from his work and the response from staff has been positive.
Great, thank you. I just wanted to make that known to my colleagues here. And then 15D, this was the coordinator of college readiness. So I had some questions about this, but I am going to say I'm very excited for this job opportunity for somebody, because perhaps we can start looking at all of these other programs that are very, AVID, but in addition to AVID. So we'll see what that may bring. And then T is in Tom. Oops, sorry, 16T. I just wanted to make note that Kurtz Hill High School, we spent in music instruments $114,000. So we are investing in the arts. I just wanted to make that point. I'm very proud that we are investing in the arts. And I know we have been through the AMIM grant, my advocacy and my fellow board members' support. But wow, right? I mean, wow, $114,000 on beautiful new music instruments that these kids may not have ever had the opportunity to touch a trumpet or to touch. No, we can spend both. We can do both. Yes, we can. We can coexist. Yes. So I just want to say this is great. And I want to see more of these dollars. Mr. Kevin, Mr. Vensko, you will see that I am supportive of spending money in this area. Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have a motion, we have a second. Anybody else got anything else to discuss? Ms. Grady, I don't want to leave you out. Ms. Wynn? No? Okay, we'll go and vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Seeing none, so moved. Move to 18. Mr. Nehan, you are up, sir.
Thank you. Hope everyone is enjoying their summer. Those of you with us today, how else could you better spend your time? I do want to say congratulations to the Solar Falcon team. They should be arriving back at Palmdale High School after a week in the pleasant Texas sun on a hot tarmac racing. They finished third overall in the competition, and that's a nationwide competition. However, received several accolades for their ingenuity, their team selflessness in working to support other groups. And then yesterday, they completed the second most laps of any team out there. So congratulations, Solar Falcons.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Okay, you only had 800. That's why I say we'll go ahead and do board comments this time. Yeah. Go ahead, Miss McGrady. You are up.
Thank you. I have no comments today.
Okay, Miss Wynn.
I do have a couple of comments. So this fall marks my 40th year of volunteering in schools. I started at the high school district, even though Dwayne and I didn't have any children. Volunteered over at AV at the football games. Dwayne and I ran the visitors side snack bar area. Dwayne loved his position behind the grill when we grilled hamburgers and hot dogs, and enjoyed the years that we started. And after that, we had children, and I ended up volunteering for 35 years in the Lancaster School District. And I have never deviated from my goal of helping children. Always. It's always been my goal, always will be. I want to say just a couple of words about, many of you know that Dana Lamont has passed. Oh my, what an amazing gentleman, and how much time he spent volunteering in our schools as well. His daughter, Autumn, and my daughter, Jessica, played basketball together. And the first time I ever met Dana Lamont was at a middle school basketball game. And this gentleman in the front row was giving advice to the players, and especially to his daughter. And he would say, next time you've got to do this, or next time, take it a little slower next time. And afterwards, I went down to talk to him and I said, so are you a basketball coach? He goes, oh no, I'm totally blind. I can't see. I couldn't coach these kids. And I said, I'm sorry, but I heard you coaching them. You were doing an amazing job. And he explained to me what it's like to be blind. Such an amazing man. I will miss his conversations. And Mr. Lamont ran against me in the last election, and it was a friendly competition. It really was. So I just want to say I will miss Mr. Lamont greatly. Thank you.
No, I just want to just use my time to say thank you again for this privilege and honor of sitting up here. I love being up here. And I hope you all have a great rest of your summer, because I know us teachers out there, it's coming to an end. So thank you so much. Have a great day.
Right. I just want to say thank you to all the staff. You guys are doing an amazing job. Keep up the hard work. I know we act kind of crazy up here, but I just want you to know we do all have your back. We may just disagree on certain items, but you guys are doing an amazing job. I want to say welcome to Kevin. I don't want to butcher your last name. Can you?
Vensko. Yep.
Kevin Vensko. He's the new Mr. Hawkins. He's going to do a better job than Mr. Hawkins. He's got a lot of years to get there. I'm just messing with Mr. Hawkins if he's listening. I want to give you just a little time. Can you tell us about yourself, just so not to put you on the spot, but is that okay, Greg? Can I have permission? Okay,
Sure.
I got to check with the boss first.
Of course. Yeah. So I've been in school business now for about 12 years. I have about 10 years of experience at Newhall School District, and about a year and a half at Acton. And the past year and a half was up at Acton Agua Dulce. So master's in business administration with a little bit of a minor in information technology. So that's a little passion of mine, accountant background. So very familiar with financing and all that good stuff. So I'm happy to be a part of the team here.
Great. Well, welcome. I want to say thank you. Welcome to this crazy family. So, all right. You're stuck. I also want to talk about Greg and I and Miguel. We got to attend the groundbreaking for the Mark. Really excited. A lot of great speakers at the Mark groundbreaking. Just want to point out Deputy Secretary Michael Flores came and he gave us props from this board to understand the educational significance of our $10 million use agreement with that. One of the big things that I think people need to understand, 10 million over 30 years. It's not like we're spending $10 million right now. The big issue with that is never again are you going to be in the wind or the rain or the sleet, snow, all in the same hour at a graduation. Or we're going to be able to reduce the cost of our proms that since we've been sitting on this board, we've been asking about why is it so expensive and how can we do something to reduce that cost. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Stockdale, who got to go over there and help design the kitchen that we're going to be using for our children to learn both hotel management, restaurant management, serving, baking. It's going to be state of the art. The opportunities for our students is going to be truly amazing. I'm really excited about that. I thought it was a great presentation. The great thing is it wasn't just the fair and the high school district. It's the city of Palmdale. It's a lot of partners coming in. My understanding, more people are going to be coming in to invest into that. So That's all I got to say. We will move on to anybody else? No. Closed session. And report out to closed session. Okay, on 19C. By a unanimous vote, the board took action to approve the appointment of Evelyn Rivas to the coordinator of visual and performing arts. So congratulations. May I please have a motion to approve the administrative hearing panel recommendations for the student expulsions and to order as presented the expulsions of 5 students.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say nay, seeing none, so moved. 19F. During closed session, the board considered a request to waive healthful living for an AVUHSD student, HW 2024-25-001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the request. 19G, during closed session, the board considered a request to waive healthful living for an AVUHSD student, HW 2024-25-002. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the request. 19H, during closed session, the board considered a final settlement agreement and general release STS 2403108H, case number 2024-05-0160. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the final settlement agreement and general release. Item 19I, during closed session, the board considered a final settlement agreement and general release STS 2403208H, case number 2024040675. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the final settlement agreement and release and general release. During item 19J, during closed session, the board considered claim number 2024-0529-001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. During closed session, the board considered 19K. During closed session, the board considered an application for leave to present a late claim regarding claim number 24-061-8001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the application for leave to present a late claim. Covers it all, right? You got it all? Okay. Okay, it is recommended. We got anything else, Greg? We're good? Yes. We're good. Okay. It is recommended the board adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? You guys want to hang on and have some more discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Seeing none, so move. Another one in the books. Okay. What do you guys go?